Can a predator hunt down a space marine? To be more specific, a member of the Raptors, a chapter of Space Marines. Let's get into the details of both these insanely powerful beings, and then try to create a scenario of a raptor being in a forest with a predator on the loose. Let's start with biological details and then go to their war gear and end with the theoretical encounter. Let's get to it. Let's begin by saying that raptors are similar to every other space marine in terms of biology, and so when we talk about space marines here, we're basically meaning the raptors too. So firstly, both they and the predators are bigger than baseline humans. While both are massive, standing around 7 to 8 feet tall on average, space marines are bigger and denser due to their reinforced calcified bones, their gene seed organs, and extreme muscle mass. They both are fast and agile with superhuman levels of speed. Both can sprint faster than the fastest athlete and can cover ground shockingly fast in battle. They are also both experts in all types of terrain combat scenarios, including jungle warfare. These Astaris, however, are stronger. Even the weaker ones can lift over 2 tons, and the stronger ones can lift 5 tons plus, which is mainly due to their biological enhancements, never mind the power armor that they get later on. But predators too are no pushovers. They are brutally strong and can lift cars or rip through steel and bone. But on paper, pound for pound, they don't match the raw tonnage a marine can move. These Yautjas, predators, have incredibly sharp reflexes too. They have been seen dodging bullets, projectiles, and countering melee strikes with deadly precision. And what about the space marines? Well, these superhuman soldiers can process information at the nearly microsecond speeds or levels, thanks to their enhanced brains. In terms of pure reaction time, space marines may edge out because they can even catch bullets midair. And the only reason why we see them constantly being hit by enemy fire is because in that universe, they are hit by last gun fire, which fires lasers at the speed of light, and unless they're Goku, they can't beat that. Space Marines have also genius level intellects thanks to their implanted knowledge, indoctrination, and superhuman brains. While predators are also very intelligent, they are mostly strategic hunters with a deep understanding of tactics, strategies, and biology. Both on average would have decades of experience. They would go through a ton of training in killing other similarly deadly species, and both live similarly long lives that are counted in centuries. Now, going on to endurance, the Astaris don't feel pain like normal human beings. They are often seen fighting with broken bones, holes in their chests, or even limbs missing. And while the Yautjas are tough, they are seen to die from wounds that a space marine can walk out of. Some, like the upgrade Predator, however, are extremely enhanced genetically and thus have bulletproof skin and unimaginable durability. But when we shift to healing, the scales tip greatly to the grimdark warriors. See, the predators can regenerate, and while they might have reptilian biology and faster than normal humans' regeneration speeds, they still can't outpace the ability of the space marines, which have something called the Larraman's organs, which produces these Larraman cells that seal wounds in seconds. Marines heal on the get-go, which means if it isn't a kill shot, then get ready for round 2 immediately. They also have a lot more special abilities like spitting acid, gaining knowledge through eating your flesh, and even for some, psychic powers. So after that extensive comparison of the biological traits of these two combatants, let's take a look at their war gear. We begin here with the weapons, of course. The Predator has a wide range of gadgets it regularly uses to hunt down dangerous and exotic prey. The most common ones are the wrist blades, the combi stick, which is kind of like a javelin but with many blades that can fold and unfold when needed. Then they also have a powerful plasma caster for long range firing, which fires plasma bolts but at subsonic speeds. They also have whips, net guns, smart discs that can search for targets, and grenades. On the other hand, a normal battle brother is usually armed with just a bolt gun, a bolt pistol, grenades, and a combat knife. They also have access to plasma guns, melter guns, rockets, missiles, and all that jazz, all that the mind can imagine, but for this video's sake, let's settle with the humble war gear. But remember, a bolt gun fires a 75 caliber round, which is assisted by small rockets that propels it to supersonic speeds and detonates after hitting the target. Now let's go over to armor, their defense. While predators rarely wear full protective suits, Space Marines are covered from head to toe with a power armor. The reason why predators don't wear armor is never really explained, but since the hunt requires stealth, speed and agility, and maybe their own honor code, they may forego it for this reason, as heavy armor would impede them and slow them down. But when it comes to Space Marines, their armor is like a walking tank wrapped around a superhuman. The armor itself is made of a super dense ceramide plastic composite that's resistant to everything from bullets to explosives to fire and even laser weapons. The armor is plugged directly into the Marine's nervous system through the black carapace and lets them move like it's a part of their body. So a predator hunting a Space Marine is like an assassin trying to take down a small, fast-moving, high-tech bunker that shoots back. But you can argue that predators are more like the Eldari, who move fast, hit from shadows, hide with their cloaks, and are hard to track. Not psychic, but physically somewhere there. Then now we come to the most deadly piece of technology that a predator possesses. This is its iconic cloaking ability. The predator's cloak is an advanced piece of alien technology that makes the Yautja nearly invisible. It works by bending light around their body, so it looks like you're seeing right through them. It's not perfect. There's often a shimmering outline, like a heat wave in the air, but in the right environment, especially when the predator stays still, it makes them almost impossible to spot. This cloaking system also hides them from many electronic sensors. It's a key part of how they stalk their prey silently and unseen. However, as seen in Predator 3 World War and in the AVP game, the cloak is not invisible to thermal sensors. Then the Raptor Space Marines are a bunch that often uses stealth and silent takedowns to finish the job. They are maybe the only ones that function as proper soldiers do, without the need for visible martial glory or honor. They know that through many of their near-extinction events of their chapter, the true meaning of war, which is just death and suffering. Thus, like the Raven Guard, which are their ancestors or which they descend from, their parent chapter, their battle doctrine relies a lot on infiltration, scouting, practical use of available assets, stealth and long-range sniping. Therefore, many of them also have a type of cloaking device which is called a camo cloak. This is a rugged hood which is made of a special camelline fabric that changes its color and pattern to match the surroundings almost perfectly. However, one has to be completely still for it to work, and when they move, the cloaking disappears as well, which is less advanced than the active cloaking a predator has, thus giving the Yautja a massive advantage here. Or so you would think. Cause for detection, it all comes down to sensors. So the predator has this iconic biomass which, aside from performing the basic function of protecting a predator's head and face, it also grants the wearer access to multiple vision modes, including zooming capabilities, verbal mimicry, and includes breathing apparatus, diagnostics, and visual and audio recording systems. The helmet often also incorporates a red targeting laser used in conjunction with a plasma caster. The sensors on the biomass allows the predator to switch from normal visible spectrum to thermal, to electromagnetic or electric signals, and even sonar, as seen in the movie Predators of 2010. This means that a Raptor Space Marine would not be able to hide from a predator's line of sight. But then again, a Space Marine also has something similar, his helmet, which is filled with a lot of scanning arrays and sensors. This helmet, aside from protecting the Astartes from fatal headshots, also allows him to see the environment better than any other living creature. While the Space Marine already has night vision, telescopic vision, hearing that would put dogs to shame, and sense of smell that rivals the deadliest bloodhounds, his helmet increases it with more input. The heads-up display, the HUD of the helmet, gives the Marine access to infrared, ultraviolet, thermal and instant targeting, which means that cloaking for either of these combatants is pointless. Therefore now, with all of that information described clearly about their physical attributes, their abilities, their weapons, armor, stealth tech and sensors, let's finally take a look at whether or not a predator can hunt and take down a Raptor Space Marine. Or maybe the hunter becomes the hunted here. Alright, imagine this. Deep in a thick foggy jungle, just as the sun is rising, a Raptor Space Marine, basically a walking tank trained to be silent and deadly, is making his way through the trees. He's wearing his special cloak that blends seamlessly into the environment, and his helmet is packed with sensors that can pick up the slightest movement, heat or sound. Then up in the trees, a predator watches him. It is cloaked almost invisible and uses thermal vision to spot the Marine's body heat instantly. It thinks it has the upper hand, like usual. But here's the twist. The Marine's sensors spot the predator before it even moves, so the cloaking is no use. The Marine pulls out his sniper rifle and takes a shot, but the predator, being an experienced hunter, notices the movement and just barely dodges. It's fast, no doubt, but the Marine's accuracy nearly ended its life right there. The predator, with its laser tracking, fires a couple of plasma rounds from its shoulder cannon in retaliation, and while the raptor dodges a few, due to his bulky size, one manages to hit him right in the shoulder pauldron. The plasma burns through the armor, but not all the way. The predator then gets his head grazed by another bolter round. Somehow, by the luck of his alien gods, he wasn't killed. The Yautja then scrams away. He realizes long-range attacks aren't going to work. His plasma gun can't even deal a death blow, so he decides to come down for a close-up ambush. Bad move. The Space Marine, calm and fast, turns around and swings his power fist, basically a rocket-powered metal gauntlet, right to the predator's face. And while it does hurt the predator, the Yautja retaliates with his blades, but these blades can't even get through the armor, and he is immediately smacked into a tree like a rag doll. Now desperate, the predator manages to get free with a massive kick to the Space Marine's chest, and then throws a net grenade that tries to trap the Marine. But the Marine's plasteel and ceramide armor is too tough. He just cuts through the net with his combat knife, and then advances like nothing happened. The predator now roars his classic battle cry, like his species always do before a full-on hand-to-hand brawl, before a showdown, as his honor code demands it. But the raptor, stoic and emotionless, quickly raises his bolt pistol and fires one clean shot right to the predator's head, blowing it apart in an instant. So here, in the end, the predator tried every trick it had, which is stealth, speed and its deadly weapons, but the Raptor Space Marine's armor, sensors, strength and brutal training were just too much. The predator came looking for a trophy, but became one instead. The hunter becomes the hunted. And so I hope that answers your question on whether a predator can take down a Space Marine, a raptor. And with that, we come to the end of this video. Do hit that like button for support and smash that subscribe button to be a part of Legio Notebook. Yeah, also if you like this video, then check this other one too, this one in the end screens. And if you want to browse for other sci-fi content, then check out our channel. So subscribe, like for support. Till the next time, take care, boys.